And the National Hurricane Center is making a groundbreaking change to how we see a hurricane forecast. The hurricane cone that we're so used to seeing is going to look different this season. Meteorologist Anthony Yanez got a firsthand and exclusive look at this change.
We have some breaking news here in South Lake Tahoe at Operation Sierra Storm. I'm joined by Deputy Director at the Hurricane Center, Jamie Rome. We are a long way from home, from Houston and Miami, here in South Lake Tahoe. But you just announced something that's, honestly, I think it's a revolutionary change to how we are going to talk about, predict, and forecast hurricanes. What is that?
So we've historically been all of us, been very much focused on where the hurricane will go. The track and the cone has dominated our conversation and how we portray the hurricane. We're going to start shifting to make the hazards more prominent and up front in those communications. By hazards, I mean storm surge, heavy rain, wind, and tornadoes. And
I was looking at the changes here. When you look at the changes graphically, it really, the cone is still there, but you don't notice it as much. Right. What you're now seeing is you're seeing what the warnings are. You're seeing what the impacts are, and it feels like this is so much more important than showing something that no one really understands anyway.
Right, and that was the goal. That's what we challenged ourselves. The cone has been around for over 20 years, so it's largely institutionalized. So to make a large change would probably be disruptive. Instead, we're just trying to layer in these subtleties that make the hazards more prominent.
Well, and how long have you been thinking about this, and it's going to be unveiled this hurricane season? Is this something that happened quickly, or did this really take some time to think about and how the Hurricane Center wants to present this?
It's actually been a long-term conversation because it's such a big shift. We didn't want to disrupt or temporarily hurt hurricane awareness and understanding. So we worked with social and behavioral scientists over the last probably 3, 4, 5 years to try to understand not only what the changes were necessary, but how to roll them out slowly so that they weren't so disruptive.
What I think is going to be really fascinating with this hurricane season is if there is a storm in the Gulf of Mexico. And for us, it's going to be, here's what you need to know as far as the impacts. Here's what you need to know about the warnings that we have here in Southeast Texas if there is something that heads our way. And it's not so much starting with a cone and looking at a track that way. It's really so much more about how this affects our lives, and I really think that's really important. Are there any challenges, though, to changing something like this?
Oh yeah, with a product that's this institutionalized, lots of challenges. That's why we're only going to do it experimentally. We're going to bring it alongside the existing cone, so you have the two of them together. That way, it lowers the chance of disrupting people. Some people may want to stick to the old cone as they get used to the newer way of presenting it, and lets us hear feedback along the way so we can adjust as we go.
Because it is an experimental product, right? Because this is going to be the first year for that. I want to end with this story because, first of all, a lot of people don't know, you basically, maybe invents the wrong word, but you basically unveiled the storm surge product. That was your thing. And Bill Reed, who we're all familiar with in Southeast Texas and in Houston specifically, who was the former National Hurricane Director, he said out of everything that he did at the Hurricane Center, maybe one of the things he's most proud of is hiring you because of the work you did with storm surge and how many lives that saved. And now you've done something else. And so we're really excited to see this. And of course, this is coming with this upcoming hurricane season. Jamie, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.